Welcome to Kids in Tennis, a nonprofit grassroots tennis organization that introduces inner-city, at-risk children of color to tennis. Why, in just 5 short years, Kids in Tennis has grown into one of Oregon's premier culturally and ethnically diverse junior tennis programs.
In the heart of Portland, a unique story unfolds each summer. It's the story of Kids in Tennis, a nonprofit organization that's more than just a tennis camp. It's a thriving community, a legacy of giving. This year, they celebrate their 36th anniversary as a community tennis organization, steadfast in their mission in spite of adversity to offer free and affordable tennis lessons to underprivileged youth.
My name is Ronald Hudai. I'm a volunteer instructor for Kids in Tennis. I teach tennis to kids from age 7 to 17. And I've been doing this now for 37 years. So I've been with Kids in Tennis since its inception. We are a nonprofit organization that teaches kids, gives them the opportunity to play tennis at all levels, especially minority children.
All right. Hi, I'm Coach Mike Navarro. Kids in Tennis is a tennis program that provides a free summer tennis camp and high quality, reduced cost lessons at Portland Tennis Center. And we are mainly focused on BIPOC kids and non-traditional tennis populations.
Kids in Tennis started as a small initiative, but it quickly grew with deep roots in Portland's Black community.
My name is Lanita Duke, and I found out about Kids in Tennis back during its inception when it was Donald Johnson and Andre. And full disclosure, Donald is my brother-in-law, but I have observed him struggling to get Kids in Tennis off, to create something out of nothing. He had an objective and he was very clear what he wanted to do with the kids, not just with tennis as a sport, but in society as a whole and where children of color fit in.
Kids in Tennis was started when I was, one day I was driving down 7th Avenue during the summer and I saw a kid at the park hitting some balls against the wall. I stopped and asked him, take a look at his equipment. And I asked him if he participated in the summer program, and he said no. And I asked him if he knew anything about a summer program at Irving Park, and he said no. So then I took it upon myself to make some inquiries. This year, in summer of 1994, will be our 5th year at the park.
But their task was not an easy one. Blocking their path forward was a sea of red tape and the ever-present barricade of white supremacy.
He really believed in it, and he made us believe in it as well, because we saw his good work. And plus we knew how hard he struggled with the power structure here in Portland. We wanted to support him. We were, we're just other poor folk trying to assist someone in a dream. And remember now, during the time that Donald came along, there was not a whole lot of support for African Americans. And, Portland has this illusion of liberalism. It's a fairly racist city, very racist. And they want you to fit into this little box. Donald Johnson never fit into anyone's box.
Its founders envisioned a place where tennis was more than a sport. It was a tool for growth and empowerment.
When I started Kids in Tennis, I feel like it immediately felt like a community, like a place where I could go and feel understood. I mean, originally when I was a kid, there weren't very many programs out there that really pushed tennis from a perspective of diversity. And to be able to go to a program that put that at the forefront, and you have mentors who are helping you to navigate your identity, especially in a place like Portland that's not very diverse at all, was very special to me.
The impact of kids in tennis is evident on the court and beyond. The tennis instruction transcends the sport, providing life lessons for the young players. This holistic approach builds lasting relationships and forms the lifeblood of our community.
I like the sport. So like when I'm playing in a tournament, I kind of like think about like how I won and like how like I was calm during that tennis match, so I should be calm during school. And that kind of helps with like day-to-day life because it'll help you train to be more mentally stable. I just like enjoy playing, so I don't get stressed as much either.
We also watch the kids, not only their tennis skill, but also their emotional development as it relates to tennis. Because sometimes we act like different people when under pressure, or we're under a little strain. And learning how to manage those emotions, learning how to manage those situations, like that's the gold of tennis and the gold of kids in tennis.
Tennis is a battle against yourself, and Kids in Tennis supports its campers by providing the structure and the skills to work on themselves.
Tennis is just a game, but it's the character that we learn from this game. It helps us improve in life itself. And because it improves our life, we want our children to improve, and so we bring our children to this program.
100% of the time, it's you versus you in life and in tennis, because you can't control other people. That's something we tell kids all the time at school, but we also tell players on the tennis court. You can't control what that other person does, you can only control yourself. So once you do that, your chances of winning are as high as they can possibly be.
And so it's kind of like this weird cycle where you start to love tennis and people see that you love the tennis, and then they invest in you. And then you really appreciate that they invested in you. And then when you get older, you see, oh, you know, I could do the same. And so that's kind of like the cycle, the life cycle of tennis.
If the young campers conduct themselves in a mature manner and apply the lessons they learn on the court to their lives off the court, they can come full circle and end up teaching the next generation.
So when I came to Kids in Tennis, a big motivating reason for me to come back was because when I was a kid, that community that I built up over the years was so important to me, and I really wanted other kids to feel that same sense of community and learn about each other through diversity, you know, whether that's different races, different ways that people talk or approach things, even diversity of thought. I thought that was really critical for how I grew up, and so that's what really motivates me truly to keep doing this program, is because I really want others to have that same experience and start to see the value in diversity and all the other things that Kids in Tennis can offer, and, you know, build that same exact community.
Most of the relationships are long-standing. They've been with us. And when you do something for 36 years, now we're talking generations. Mm-hmm. You know, you taught somebody's dad. Yep. Now you're here.
Or grandfather.
Or grandfather. Now you're here. So having the parents and the grandparents support the program of bringing their kids and participating in the program. Second is that they're happy that the program is still going, so they can see that there is some sustainability in what we do.
The most amazing aspect of Kids in Tennis is its cyclical nature. Former campers often return not just as volunteers, but as mentors and coaches, embodying the spirit of giving back. It is that spirit that makes Kids in Tennis truly powerful. Its ability to sustain itself, supporting humans across generations, and growing a community from the ground up.
I remember back in the day, they had organizations wanting to work with youth of color, and the staff was all white. And those organizations still exist to this day. You have social service organizations that say they want to help children, they want to help youth, but the staff is not representative of the demographic that they say they want to help. That was never a problem with kids in tennis.
Hi, my name is Amal Barabi. I first got involved with kids in tennis about 4 or 5 years ago with Kofi. I met him at a tennis tournament and I started working with him, and he asked me to come down to kids in tennis and just volunteer. I started bringing my kids down, and little by little, I see that spark in them. And this community is important to me because when I see Don Johnson and Ron, they've been here for so long. Don, the founder, Ron been helping as much as he can for all these years. Before I even thought of even being in Portland, they was giving so much. It brings me back to my childhood.
The leaders of Kids in Tennis use their background as educators to enrich the campers' lives on and off the court.
So I think that the fact that Don, Mike, and myself all worked in the educational field does help to make sure that kids grow and mature in a good way and become good citizens outside of tennis.
Their experience as people of color here in Portland becomes an invaluable resource when supporting young campers who may be struggling to find their place or their voice.
We do what we see. As youth, we see our parents act a certain way. We get those mannerisms. When we see those of the same culture or other people of color giving instruction, I think it helps society because it breaks that barrier for a lot of kids.
When I was in elementary school to high school, at times I felt very alienated because there's not very many people that look like me in Portland or even kind of in Oregon in general.
And I think for African American males, it's great to see another African American male in a leadership role. And to have a kid see that on a daily basis, now that is revolutionary.
But it all boils down to a person took the time to invest in me. And I recognize that, and so now I'm investing in giving back.
The positive reinforcement of being uplifted by your peers and role models is what Kids in Tennis is all about. For 36 years, generation after generation of alums continue to participate in Kids in Tennis. The seeds of the next generation are watered by the care of today's educators.
All right, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next week. Same time, same Don station.
Yes, let's go.
Man, Don, I was like, hey, I should have said, and this was unrehearsed.
That's it, it's unrehearsed.
Unscripted.